need to put my speaker in. I notice this makes a difference. You're probably wondering, why is she dressed up like a cowgirl?
You're not real.
Bring yourself back online.
Do you know where you are?
I'm in a dream.
You're in my dream. I designed every part of this place.
I think there may be something wrong with this world.
I wouldn't say that at all.
You're probably wondering, why am I dressed up like a cowgirl? WestWorld on HBO. I will admit, I was seeing the previews for this and I was a little bit nervous because I don't like to watch scary things before I go to bed. I don't want to have really creepy dreams about some weird sci-fi world. I'm already crazy enough as it is. Those dreams come naturally. I don't need to add anything else to my brain. But the trailers
You're not real.
were so good and enticing.
You're one of them, aren't you?
My favorite thing to do is to set up my iPod and soak in a bathtub while I watch HBO. I was watching the first episode of WestWorld. I will say, and I know this is pretty bold to say this, but this may be up there with Game of Thrones. That's right, I said it. Let me kind of give you an idea of what it's about. And yes, there'll be a spoiler alert, so if you haven't seen it yet or you don't have HBO, stop this right now, turn your computer off, and go watch it. This is all based on the idea. The idea is this 3D printing, which I believe is really happening. Now we can 3D print ears and noses and prosthetics to be used on human bodies.
A machine that can make copies of almost anything, but this time in 3D. It seems like science fiction, but 3D printing is already in use, building hearing aids, jewelry, even parts for NASA.
What you're watching is an ear being printed. Layer upon layer, tiny droplets are deposited, building up the structure.
Same technology you have at your very own home, but instead of printing sheets of paper with ink, you're actually printing tissues with cells.
Since our government is so interested in cloning people, more often than not, about the time when they're getting ready to roll out something behind the scenes, there'll be some sort of entertainment that you watch to think, oh, well, this isn't real. It's just on TV. It's just a movie. They create this world, surrealistic world where people pay to experience living in this fantasy so that they can rape, pillage, kill people to just live out their dream, but they're not really raping and killing people. They're just raping and killing robots. And of course, we know robots are not supposed to have any kind of consciousness. However, there's your spoiler alert. Okay, so there you go. There's this fly in the Matrix, and it's always landing on robots, and they start freaking out. The fly, it's already a giveaway. So you're thinking, okay, somewhere in there, part of this is the fly that's causing this malfunction in it. I didn't want the malfunction to happen so soon. You already see two things at the beginning. Granted, they're enticing and they want you to watch more. The first one is the fly, and the second one is the idea that these robots have been programmed over and over again with different realities and different stories, and somehow these programs start crisscrossing, melding together. I don't know what you want to call it, but it would be as if is suddenly remembering all their past lives. The acting is so good in this. Robots, the way they move and the way they twitch. Anthony Hopkins is in this, and you know he has that I'm doing more behind the scenes and you'll know, putting mistakes in the programming, leading these robots to be more conscious, but conscious to the fact that they were created to run the agenda of this big corporation, and some of them are pretty pissed off. This is just episode 1. So if you don't have HBO, I strongly suggest that you invest the money. A lot of nudity, a little bit of sex so far, some blood, you know, and I'm not really a person that likes watching blood or killing, but because it's based in this Midwestern scene, it's just your typical, you know, shotguns. And I will admit, when they had this one scene, again, spoiler alert, this one scene with this villain and milk, and when they shot him, it was kind of interesting. The blood was running into the milk that spilled, and this seems to be a theme in there, is milk and blood. I don't know. The film work, the angles, wow, I like this. I'm not into creepy sci-fi stuff, but this I like. Until next time, rest in a deep and dreamless slumber.